just got back from the produce stand and I thought you might be interested in see what I got. The 1st of August is going to be this coming week, so we are nearing the end of summer, and I've always gotten my fresh produce that I'm going to put up for the winter in the months of usually July, because I really like the spring and the summer crops better. So this is what I got. I am going to be through when I get all of this put up, so I'm not getting any more. So this is a big bag of okra. And last time I was there, the okra was too big. This time the okra was all too small. But I went ahead and got it, and because I want to be through and I don't want to be going back and forth to the produce stand trying to get it. But maybe this is what I like to put. I like to slice it and put it up in the freezer, and that way I can either fry it or it's great for soup. I make the vegetable soup in the fall and winter, and in my vegetable soup I make it the way my mother did with all the vegetables, and I like to put okra in it. So tomorrow at lunch I'm going to take a little bit of this and I'm going to fry it. And these are peaches. These are South Carolina peaches, and they're still really hard. So I'm going to just set them on my counter and let them ripen and soften a little bit more. So those were $2.69 a pound. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, the okra is still $2.99 a pound. And so I also got two good size. These are Mississippi field grown tomatoes. So I got 2 more tomatoes for either slicing for tomato sandwiches or slicing for lunch tomorrow to go with my fried chicken and my okra. So those were $1.69 a pound. The peaches were $2.69 a pound. They're South Carolina peaches. Let's see what this is. Oh, sweet potatoes. The sweet potatoes at the grocery store were big, and I like to get small ones because I cook one at a time. And so I got 3 little sweet potatoes. I think they were $1.29 or $1.69 a pound. So my big expense was the already shelled butter beans. Now these are the speckled butter beans. They're already shelled, but I'll blanch these, wash them. I see a lot of shell pieces in there. So I'll wash those, blanch them, put them in the freezer in little Ziploc bags, and I'll have butter beans for the winter. Sometimes I put those in my soup, but most of the time I put the white butter beans in my soup. So these were both $7.50 a bag. And the good thing about this is it's already shelled, and when my kids were little we always got the butter beans and the peas in the shell, and we would all have to sit down with a pan and shell peas all day. So at least they're already shelled. And I got 2 ears of corn. So I will cut the corn off and make cream style corn for lunch tomorrow, and then I'll probably have some left over that I can put another little bag or possibly 2 bags in the freezer for this winter for soup. So it's still 75 cents an ear. Has not come down 1 penny since the start of spring. And I do have a corn cutter that a really good friend sent to me, so thank you for my corn cutter, and I'm going to be trying it out on the corn. So that's just an FYI. I thought you might be interested in what I got at the produce stand, and when I get my butter beans put up in the freezer, I'll be through for the winter. That's all the vegetables I'm going to put up for just me. I'll be very well set. Now you know what I'm going to do with all of these brown bags. I'm going to fold them, put them down, and put them in my stack to do the watercolor on for gift bags. So I'll repurpose those. And all of the bags that I had left from the grocery store yesterday when I went to Kroger, and you saw all of those plastic bags. I repurposed those for Maisie when Maisie goes on a walk. Those are the poop bags that I repurpose and use to pick up behind Maisie. So usually I use 2 of those a day. So that way I don't have to buy poop bags. So it's always good when we can repurpose what we have and not just throw it in the trash. So there you go. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and please let me know. So this is my big carton of yogurt I got. This is the Greek yogurt I got at Costco, and it's 48 ounces. And I really, really love this Greek yogurt. It's the difference in the Greek yogurt and the regular, just plain yogurt, is this has a lot more of the moisture, the liquid drained out of it, so it's a lot thicker. So this was a little bit over $5. And so now it's time to process the meat I got at the grocery store. So I have my baking sheet, my cookie sheet out. I've lined it with aluminum foil. And now I'm going to take my bacon, cut it in half, and spread that on my baking sheet and go ahead and get it cooked to put in the freezer. And then after I do that, I have to take the package of chicken legs I got yesterday. And this is 4.5 pounds of chicken legs for $5. So I'm going to put these in the freezer, probably 2 legs per bag. And I'll use the chicken legs to make Maisie's dog food and then take the bone out and set it aside and save it so I can make chicken broth and chicken stock. And I'll also use some of the chicken legs to fry for me. So we both get to use that. Now the bacon is all spread out on the baking sheet, and I like to put it in single layers, and I like to cut it in half. So I have smaller pieces of bacon rather than one long piece. So I'm going to put it in the oven. I have the oven set at 350, and I'll just have to watch it to see how it's going to cook. And usually I take my tongs and I will turn it over kind of halfway through. But when this gets done, I'll take this out, spread it out on paper towels so most of the excess grease can drain off. The good grease I'm going to go ahead and pour into a jar so I can save that. Sometimes I like to put it in my peas or in my vegetables when I'm cooking my green beans or peas. It makes it really good and adds a lot of good flavor to it. So the bacon is going in. While the bacon is baking, I'm going to go ahead and bag up those chicken legs. And these are really nice big chicken legs. So I've decided to go ahead and put 3 in a bag. And if I decided I need only 2, look how good size that chicken leg is. So if I need only 1 for Maisie's dinner, I can just take 1 out and put the other 2 back in the freezer. But these are really a lot of meat on those chicken legs. And also because it will take up less room in my freezer to have 3 legs in a bag rather than 2 in a bag. There were 14 chicken legs in the package, so I counted them. And if I put 2 in a bag, I will have to have 7 bags. And I'm really, look at that big one. That's a really big one. I'm really running out of space in my freezer because I only have my refrigerator freezer, which is on the top of my refrigerator. So to have my ice cream and all my other vegetables, plus I freeze my bread. When I bake my bread, my loaf of bread and my rolls, I put that in the freezer so it will stay fresh. I mean, when you have one of you, you know how it is. You can't cook, you have to have a lot of storage space. So I have 4 bags with 3 in each one. These 2 I'm going to put in another little flip top bag, and those are the 2 I'm going to cook for my dinner tomorrow after church. So another reason I'm going ahead and doing this today is so I can bag it all up while it's fresh, get it in the freezer while it's good and fresh, and then I need to get all of this wrapping and all the chicken paper and packaging and all of the vegetable trimmings and everything in the garbage, because tomorrow is when I get all of my garbage out of my house and take it to the dumpster. So it takes careful planning and planning ahead so we can keep everything running on a smooth, even keel. It's a journey. I've been working on this for a long time. That really is not bad for $5. That's a lot of chicken. So these are the ones that are going in the freezer. This is the one for me for dinner after church tomorrow. And that's really a good, that's probably my best bargain from the grocery store this week. And I do date each one of my chicken packages, so if it gets pushed to the back of the freezer, I'll know. And I've learned to put the year on it, because some things that get in my freezer get kind of pushed to the back, and I say, was that last year or was that year before last? Because the years are passing so fast now. So I put the month, the date, and the year. Now my bacon has been in the oven at 350 for right at 15 minutes. So I'm going to take it out and go ahead and turn all the pieces over. And I like mine to be crisp, and I like for all of the fat pieces to not be white anymore. But I don't like it overdone. I don't like it dark brown. So I'm going to turn it all over and put it back in the oven at 350 and watch it. And my house smells so good. If you like the smell of bacon cooking, you would like to be in my house right now. Now let it stay in the oven for 10 more minutes, and this is the way I like it. So I'm going to go ahead and take it all up, put it on my paper towel, and then when I get ready to eat it, I will put it in the microwave. Usually when I'm ready to eat mine, I do put it in the microwave to heat it. So it will kind of brown or cook a little bit more when I put it in the microwave. So total time, it was 10 minutes on each side. So this looks really, really good. Now when I get this out of the pan, I'm going to go ahead and get the other half of the package and put it in the pan. I've got to get some more paper towels. But look at that. And it's going to be easy cleanup because it's on the tin foil and it didn't splatter all over my oven or my cooktop. So this is the way I've been cooking my bacon and my sausage. When I get my sausage home from the grocery store, I go ahead and put it in a little pan on tin foil and cook all my sausage patties and get them done and put them in the freezer. So sometimes I want pancakes and bacon and sausage, or sometimes for supper I want a scrambled egg and bacon or sausage. And this way my meat is already cooked and I don't have to get out a pan. So anyway, and it stays fresh, because so many times my bacon or my sausage has gotten too old and stays in the refrigerator before I'm ready to use it. So this way it's cooked at the peak of its freshness and it's ready when I am. Okay, now I'm going to get the second half and cook it. I'm just going to use the same foil and put the next batch of bacon right on top of that. Now the second half of the package is in the pan and it's all spread out, and it looks like it's less slices than the other one. Maybe it's just the way I arranged it on the pan, but I guess I did a better job this time. But this is going in the oven and it'll cook 10 minutes on each side. I decided to show you inside the oven while the bacon is cooking on how it's slowly cooking and it's not splattering all over my oven, because you know, that was one of the reasons I went with cooking it this way, because my bacon grease got all over my countertop, my cooktop, and everything. But this way it's cooking slowly, and you can see it bubbling, but it's not popping and splattering. While the bacon is still in the oven cooking, I'm going ahead and bag this up, and I'm very glad I didn't leave it in any longer, because this is just right. It's very crispy, very crunchy, and it's just right. If it had stayed in any longer, it would be much too done. So that's half the package of bacon, and the other half will come out shortly. Now this time the bacon only needed to cook 5 minutes. And one reason for that is because it was cooking in the grease. And the first time I cooked it, it was not in the grease. So since this batch of bacon was down in the grease, it cooked a lot faster. So there we go. My bacon is all cooked and ready now, and I can put all of my wrappings and my packaging in the garbage. And tomorrow I'll get all of my produce trimmings and get everything out in the garbage for the weekend. These are going to make some really good bacon tomato sandwiches. Oh, my house smells just like bacon. And it really, really tastes good. Well, after I went to the grocery store and I mentioned what I was going to do with my apples, I said I was going to stew my apples for lunch one day. So I did have a request to show how I stew my apples. So that's what I'm going to fix for lunch today. I'm going to have one of my chicken legs I've already cooked. I am boiling one of my russet potatoes to go with my chicken. And I have some speckled butter beans that I got at the produce market, put some in the freezer, fixed some for lunch, and I'm trying a new bread recipe. So I'll show you the bread. It's on the counter rising. I'm ready to pop it in the oven. And if it turns out good, I'll share how I did that. I'll make another loaf because I hope it's going to be good. It's different from any bread recipe I've ever made before. So here we go with the stewed apples. This is the bread. It has risen and it's getting ready to go in the oven. It's going to bake at 410 degrees for approximately 10 to 12 minutes. So I'm going to put that in the oven and let it start baking. Now I have 2 apples out, so I've already washed them, and the only thing I put in my apples is a little bit of sugar, a little cinnamon, and butter. So I'm going to quarter them and cut them in pieces and start them cooking. This is one of the best ways to fix apples, and especially in the fall. It's a go-to recipe in the fall for apples. And this is good just to cook, to have as a side dish. It's also wonderful on hot buttered biscuits. You can even put it on ice cream. So I like to leave my apples in kind of nice sized chunks. And this is a really good crisp apple. These are some of the Gala apples that Kroger had on sale when I went to the grocery store Friday. So I got a bag. And I've been eating them fresh, just quarter them and put peanut butter on it. That's one of my favorite ways just to eat fresh apples. Quarter it. And little Maisie loves apples. I always put apples in her dog food when I make her dog food, when I have apples. So, and I leave the skin on them for Maisie. And one day I'll have to do a video of making her food, because usually I just use the same recipe, just vary it a little. So I'll think about that for a video one week. Now this is 1 3/4 apples, washed, diced. I'm going to leave this other 1/4 out so I can just eat it fresh with peanut butter. I put a little bit of water in just to start them to steam, and I'm going to put maybe a 1/4 cup of sugar and about a tablespoon of butter and a good sprinkling of cinnamon. So I do like cinnamon in my apples. So I'm going to put that on the stove and let that come to a boil. Then I'll put the lid on it and let it steam. The apples have started boiling, so I'm going to turn the heat down, stir them up, put the lid on them, and just let them sit there and stew. So I'm going to turn the heat from high to medium. So the apples have been stewing for 15 to 20 minutes, and all of the liquid had boiled out, so I just put just a little bit more in. So I'm going to put them back on the burner now, put the lid on them, and they are ready. They're soft. They still have body and they're still firm, but they are softened and they're done. So these are ready to eat. My bread is almost done. It will be out of the oven in about 5 minutes. I cooked a potato and my potatoes are ready. So I'm almost ready for my lunch today. So I just took my bread out of the oven, and so far this is looking very promising. So I'm going to take it out, let it cool, and cut a piece for lunch. But it looks pretty. I like the way it came out. It has a good rise to it. It's crispy. I really can't believe this loaf of bread turned out to be that big. And it's brown on the bottom. So I'm anxious to cut into it and see how it tastes. So I've tasted the bread. I put some butter on it, just couldn't stand to wait a little while. So I did go ahead and cut into it, and it's good. I really like it. It's really crusty on the outside, and it's firm on the inside. So I'm going to let it rest. And if y'all are interested or want the recipe to this bread, let me know. So this is my plate for lunch today. I have my chicken leg, my speckled butter beans that I just heated in the microwave. Going to get a good scoop of the stewed apples. And this is another recipe I have never made before, but this turned out really, really well. I'm really happy with it. So I had 2 russet potatoes. I diced, cooked with a little bit of butter, a little bit of salt, and then I put pepper in it, and I had some flour on the counter left from when I was rolling the bread out. So I just decided to add the flour to it. It was not much, but a little, and it's made a gravy in it, so it tastes wonderful. And I've never done that before, but it's really turned out well. So this is my lunch. I have my tomato, fresh from the produce stand, my bread. I put some butter on there, so I have my bread, and this bread is really good, so I would recommend it. I'll make that for y'all one day. So there is my lunch, and I'm ready to go sit down and eat, and it looks wonderful. Well, my lunch was absolutely wonderful, and I would recommend this bread. So for my dessert today, I buttered a piece of the crusty bread, ate it with some of the stewed apples, and that was perfect dessert. We're outside early this morning. It's so hot late in the afternoon, and today's going to be another hot one. So this is Maisie's favorite thing to do. She's already had her breakfast, and we're out, and she just likes to lay in the sun. You can see where the edge of the shade is. And she walks around slowly and finds her a good spot, stretches her back legs out, and just lays down. So she is a sunbather. I can see a little yellow tent in that tree back across the fence. And across my other fence, there's a little hint of yellow to the leaves. So this is going to be our outside time today, late in the afternoon. It's just too hot to do any videoing. What do you think, Daisy? Daisy?